Sounds off. Well, hi there. I'm Diana Montford, the world's first transgender television journalist. Evidence on YouTube. You can see me a quarter century ago doing my thing, and I'm doing it now. Anyway, I was born male, became female. I have to make that clear. Some people say, "What direction are you going in?" It's the hair, I know. But anyway, I was born male, became female. I'm not going in the other direction, you know. So my guests are the wonderful Ms. Kim Watson. There she is, and the wonderful Miss Jasmine Padin.
Hi.
And they are ladies of transgender experience, as am I. Just a bunch of tranny gals sitting around talking. And we are going to talk to you, and we want you to be happy, and we are going to talk about all sorts of things. We're going to talk about, what are we going to talk about?
Well, I say we could start off with our career paths and education.
I think that's wonderful, and I know that you are brilliant and that you are quite successful, and I think it's wonderful that you are going to tell us about your education.
All right. So I've pretty much been in the education field for about 13 and a half years now.
Would you tell us your age?
I am 33, going to be 34 in a couple of months.
Kim, you want to tell us your age?
Oh, well, normally a black woman don't tell her age, but
Because, honey, black don't cry.
yes, I living 51 years and young.
And I am 59. I am senior citizen of the group. I was alive the day Marilyn Monroe died. So there. I was molested by a priest that day, believe it or not. I was 6 years old. When a priest tells you get down on your knees, watch it.
Don't get
Don't get down on your knees, I'm telling you. Because
It
you are going
wasn't
to
the
get
prayer.
a surprise from that priest. Anyway, I still can't sit down, damn it. Okay, no, but what's your education?
Well, I pretty much have early childhood education. So I was been teaching children between the ages of 2.9 to 5 years of age.
Mm-hmm.
I've also taken up secondary education. So I pretty much fluctuate whenever my moods change. I was like, well, let me teach the babies now. Let me go teach, 8th graders.
Right, and they're completely different.
Yes and no.
Well, 8th graders know everything.
But so do the preschoolers. They
Oh,
know everything, and at the end of the road, it's like, well, I failed. Help me. So it's fun. It's an interesting career. I'm glad I took it.
Did you do it before and after you transitioned?
Yeah, I actually started my transition after being on the job for about 9 years.
Did you have a problem with the?
With the company I was with, yes, I had asked them to pretty much relocate me to another center,
Right.
and my supervisor pretty much told me, deal with it. It's life. People are gonna have to face it. And I said, all right. So I hid my transition for a couple of months, and I walked in one day and I said, today's my last day. I found an amazing position with, I guess, Good Shepherd Services.
Right.
They are extremely GLBT friendly,
Good.
and I worked with them for a couple of years. No, about a year.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm currently with another organization. I'm no longer teaching. I'm now dealing with family child care networks.
Uh-huh.
So still dealing with the education portion a little bit, but I'm more of a supervisor
Mm-hmm.
for the providers of the child care facilities in the homes.
Awesome.
And of course, Kim is the founder and force behind CK Life.
Well, for me, when it comes to education, I came from Barbados where I did not finish my schooling at that point in time. Well, is a complete the European
Excuse me, is that because you were bullied?
Yes, and I don't want to be didn't want to go to school any longer. I was bullied and basically getting ready for at home to go to school, to get on the school bus, to be in school, and all day long with like 30, 40 something students in one class, plus the teacher is bullying me and discriminating, all these things. Well, I didn't know those kind of words at that time, but they were just totally, the name faggot, body man, anti-man, sissy, these kind of things I had to deal with all day long. Although at the end of the school year, I was able to come out with CXC and LCC, which is like Cambridge exams certificates,
Yes.
and I was able to come away with like geography and history and Spanish and science and biology and stuff like that. So I was really able to come back, and then I came away with 9 grades in theory music. I'm able to play the piano or the piccolo or the flute, and those were the kind of from the Royal School of London. I was able to be successful, be accredited with those 9 levels of music.
Wonderful.
So I migrated here to New America, in which I came really to go to FIT, which is the Fashion Institute.
Absolutely.
I really came to do FIT, but look where I'm at now. I'm doing social services.
But that's
you know.
fabulous.
So, but personally, I'm doing the FIT within myself. I am very fashion conscious.
Yes, and you look like a model, so
Thank,
there you are.
thank you. And where the educational part is coming to FIT, and then I didn't get to go to FIT because I became homeless, and I didn't understand the struggles of the fast life in America. And I was always told that you're in the Big Apple, you need to bite the Big Apple. Be careful you don't bite the worm. I think at some point I have bit a worm because I was homeless.
How did you become homeless?
I came to bio family, and I was living with bio family and
Bio family, your
biological family,
yes.
and I came and I was living with them, and then the attention I was getting from individuals in Brooklyn and stuff like that, because I was residing in Brooklyn, they actually put me out. They literally put me out
Because
in
you
the
were
cold because I was never gay. I was a feminine male, and they put me out because I was a feminine man, and they had 2 boys, children, which was my nephews, and they put me out because they thought that there would be something true in the thing about molestation and stuff like that. They assume all these things, and they put me at their doorstep. Oh my God. Ooh. Yes. They put me at their doorstep.
Would
and it
you
was,
like to tell their names?
oh no.
Oh. So our
Joy the
wonderful
Four.
friends out there can write to them and say,
You see, during the fall, like around this time, I was out in the cold weather and fudging for myself and stuff like
And
that.
this is coming from the Bahamas.
No, this is coming from Barbados.
Barbados.
Sorry.
Where Carter Colbert lived.
Yes,
Yes.
and where Oprah has her house.
Oh, fabulous.
Yes, Carter Colbert has her first house. She was the first actress to have her house
Right,
there
right.
in Sandy Lane. That's down in St. James. I remember that. But
How did you survive when you were homeless?
I survived because in my early childhood days, I always did survival sex. I was always a prostitute, so I know how to be a prostitute. I knew how to make money to survive. So doing those things of being homeless, and then I was picked up by other friends, and from man to man, I only knew about going to the village. And when you go to the village, as an effeminate man, somebody's gonna pick you up.
The Greenwich Village
Yeah,
in New York, which
Christopher
is
Street.
which is where the the worldwide gay rights movement started at the Stonewall in 1969.
Yeah, and that was my home before it became a recreational center. Now, back in the days, Greenwich Village was where my home was and where I used to sleep in the 18-wheelers, and with the other girls and stuff like that. Down by the trucks, yes. Around by Peter Rabbit and Keller's and Two Potatoes and stuff like that. That was my home until I got involved with being drug abuse and stuff like that, and selling my body and feeling worthless, because if my family didn't want me, who's gonna want me? So with the pain and suffering I had to deal with and the trauma that I had to deal with, I had to reach out, not loving myself but loving others to survive. And my survival time has took me through the whole drug abuse thing, and then
Did you abuse drugs because you hurt so much
I did-
emotionally?
I did-
Or to punish yourself because if your family didn't want you, you must be bad.
I wanted people to love me. I wanted folks to love me. And you have people that laugh and smile in your face, and I never knew that. So that was the kind of love that I wanted. And then I got into a lot of domestic violence relationships. I have scars on my face. I have a visible scar on the bottom of my lip. I have scars all over. I still have scars on my arms and my legs from, dealing with many men that all I know that, okay, they love you, they're going to beat you. Just listen to them. They're going to pay all your bills. They're going to dress you. They're going to keep you fab. And at that point in time...
But that's a very patriarchal, universal attitude among men. I own you, I dress you, I feed you, I pay for the roof, bitch.
Yes,
I had a bad day today, cunt.
Yes. Although I held Dungle Jack, where are you going? You better be home. You got off at 5 o'clock. You better be home by 5:05.
Yeah.
Those things I've been through. And today when I look at myself, and a lot of people don't know that, I end up going with survival sex and everything. I was in rehab.
I think a lot of women put up with that, cisgender and transgender and all genders. I mean, I think that's in many ways a universal female experience.
So I end up in
even among lesbians.
Yes.
Like the butch will say, "Where were you? Where the fuck were you?"
Yeah.
You know.
So I end up in rehab and stuff like that. Yeah, I did all of that stuff, and eventually going to rehab for not only domestic violence abuse, but abusing drugs and all that stuff and all the trauma that I'd been through. I started to get back my education and focus and stuff like that. And one of the things...
help you to develop a sense of self-esteem?
In recovery, yes, they helped me build that back. Like, I felt, even today, I feel like nothing can touch me. That's how I feel. I feel like I'm a mountain and nothing can move me.
Is that also because you've been through so much? There's really not much left to be afraid of.
Yes, and fear is yourself, and my past is my vengeance. And I live by those two sayings every day. So I took back up some courses. I run around here, run around there.
You became a medical professional.
I became a medical professional, and to really fast forward and dealing with HIV education, dealing with the Prevention Board of New York State and City, I was deemed the chairperson or the president of the transgender community.
Good for you.
Because, thank you. And, I sat on many boards and started doing a lot of motivational speaking and education throughout the world and traveling a lot. So that's what really built me back and made me come back stronger. And the company that I was working with sent me to Pace University, Baruch College.
Oh, that's fabulous.
To have, I have an undergraduate also.
Would you like to mention their name?
No.
Okay.
Not
only do we trash people, we laud them when they send people to Pace.
Yes, and why not mention the name is because I don't either want to. There are pros and cons.
Sure.
And with me, my own determination and my own faith is what brought me here. They did not bring me here.
I agree.
And
I 1000%.
yes, they told me that if you go to school, you got to give us back 2 years and stuff like that. But I found a glitch in it that I didn't have to give back 2 years. So I got my undergraduates, and that's during the time that I leave. And I did a lot for them. I was their whore.
Right.
I was basically their whore, actually. And you know what?
What do you mean by their whore?
Being their whore. While I was homeless, abusing drugs and all that, and I was down in the trenches, although I was up above the trenches, I was working for a company and still feel like being a whore because I was getting all the grants come in, $1 million. But I'm not seeing $1 million,
Right.
My transgender folks are not seeing $1 million. But I am up inside
It's
a
like
company.
that when you're an actress. They charge a fortune for people to watch you and you get nothing.
And you get nothing. I'm going home.
Yeah.
I can't even live a decent life. I can't even go and have a 5-course meal and stuff like that. So that's the reason that made me resign and start my own thing. And I continue to educate individuals like...
What did you start?
I started CK Life. CK Life is an organization where bring communities of people of trans experience, men and women, together with their either bio family or chosen family, because I'm very family oriented. It doesn't matter if it's bio or chosen. And that means a lot to me to bring individuals together
Yeah,
to actually
yeah.
sit and break bread. I love to break bread with individuals and
Yes.
just have laughs and stuff like that.
Now, CK stands for?
CK stands for Community Kinship Life, which is an organization originally brewed in the Bronx by myself and another co-founder, which I would not. Well, everybody know him as Mr. Chris, so I could just say Mr. Chris. He don't mind that.
Mr. Chris.
Yes, Mr. Chris is one of the founders of Community Kinship Life, which is CK Life, and he's also the executive director. That's the man behind all the insurance and all the glitches.
Community kinship
Life. Community means community. Kinship is family, and we bring them together, and we live one life. That's basically it. And we sat down, and one of the reasons of doing that, being so instrumental in making that happen, is because there were a lot of resources, and there were a lot of trans folks that didn't want to talk about the resources because they didn't want anyone to know that they were trans folks.
Right.
Because back then, it went from swing from drag queens because all we knew was drag queens. We never really knew the word trans, knowing that it was transitioning. And to have such an organization today, it makes me feel so great. I do not get overwhelmed. I continue working. Sometimes I don't sleep because I want to get up or hear. I'll be listening for my phone to ring. I'll be listening for somebody to call me and say, "Oh my God, I need help." So I'm looking for I'm trying to hear help because no one helped me.
But you helped you.
I help me to help others, and that's the way it goes. And I have no regrets of that. I have no regrets in my past. That's why I speak so boldly about it. Like I said, my past is my vengeance, and my past have helped me to move forward. With education, I continue studying. Hopefully, there's some stuff that I'm dealing with at this moment in November, and after November, I hope that I'm able to start my journey in getting my PhD. I really wanted to become a doctor of science to where psychology is concerned. I really want to get to that level.
Wouldn't you say that given your wide and varied life experience, you're pretty much a doctor of psychology as it is?
Yes.
And don't you think you could teach some of the professors about psychology and life?
Well, actually, CK Life, Community Kinship Life, is the only organization right now that's doing a lot of consulting and contractual work.
Can you give the website?
My website is www.cklife.org. That's www.cklife.org. Our number is 917-979-3255. And we are the only renowned consultants. We do consultants, and we are getting ready to travel out to New Mexico to train a couple providers right now.
Now, you help trans people to acquire money for their transition.
Yes, we do. We do fundraisers. Our next fundraiser is November 21st this year, 2015, and we help raise funds to give individuals $6,000, $7,000, sometimes $21,000 just to.
How do you make the money?
We do fundraisers. We do fundraisers. We have like 2 to 3 fundraisers each year, and just take the money and offer it to the
November
individual.
21st is the day after November 20th, obviously.
Trans Day of Remembrance.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that whole week we are trying to do a Trans Day week instead of just one Trans Day, and after the Trans Day Remembrance, we are going to host that fundraiser. Jasmine is all involved in that as the promoting part and stuff like that. And we can just have fun and raise funds.
Yeah. So if you have any money that you would like to give to CK Life, which is a not-for-profit that helps transgender folk realize their transgender dream and journey, if you would like to make a donation, that would be fun. And, we'll give the website once more before we leave. And by the way, before I forget, our wonderful director is Mr. Malik Parker. And I'm always forgetting to mention directors' names. And that is really stupid of me because without the director, there would be no show. Malik Parker, thank you. We salute you. Anyway, so now you are both highly accomplished women, and people often think that transgender folk are flighty and irresponsible and unintelligent and ill-educated, untutored, in other ways, just general screw-ups, and we're not. And certainly now, Jasmine and I are Latinas, and you obviously are Black.
Caribbean.
Yes, and people think that, well, Latins, black people, what do they know? Hi, Donald Trump. Anyway, so, I mean, we're smarter and better educated than most cisgender, 1,000% Caucasian, whatever, But we are considered somehow the other and less, and as I've said, unintelligent and vulgar, common whores who are truly disgusting, which we can be when we're in the mood. But, I mean, I'm so glad that you're both on here to give the lie to that idea,
The thing is, with society and individuals thinking about us as trans women, prostitutes and stuff like that are being deceptive to who we are. We live our truth and we're unapologetic. And so far for 2015, there have been 20 trans women who have been murdered for one reason or the other.
I know, because I don't know when this will air, but on November 19th, the wonderful Joanne Principali, a transgender woman who's a highly accomplished lawyer and the only transgender woman, elected to public office. That's not strictly true because I'm transgender and I was just elected to the New York County Democratic Committee. But she is one of two, I'm the other. And she and I are going to be reading a list of transgender women who were murdered. And the very interesting thing is that in that entire list, only one transgender woman was white. Everyone else was Latina or black. And the white woman was 21 years old, and she was murdered by her born-again Christian father.
Yes.
So
that is so sad. It is so sad that you cannot just live your life or who you want to be. And this is is a flip side of that. And my message to the individuals out there who are transgender, who are doing survival set, please be honest. Because there are a lot of individuals that you may come in contact with and you might not allow them to know that you're transgender, or they themselves are in denial that you're transgender.
Right, exactly.
And then that's where the situation comes up. So we have to play both sides of the fence, and we have to really be honest of who we are and truthful. No one should be murdered because they don't say, "Oh, I'm transgender."
Right, but and that happens often.
But at the same time, everyone needs to be very unapologetic. I would not send a message to tell everybody, that you have to walk around, because I myself do not walk around with the word transgender across my chest or my forehead.
Right,
I don't.
Not to sound condescending, but no one would ever know that you are.
Thank you. And I'm not stealth and I'm not undisclosed. I am just this woman who I am.
And I have built a career on being transgender, so I'm not having a problem with this. Yes.
I'm just telling folks that
I'd be doing Shakespeare in Ohio right now if I were transgender.
I'm just telling folks to be careful. Just be careful. Be understanding for who you are and where you are, where you at and where you're going.
And not only that, but with every person who comes out as transgender, we normalize the transgender experience, and people say, "Oh, well, I like this person, and she or he is transgender. That's okay. So trans people can't be all that bad,
Right. Or I have my next door neighbor is transgender, or I have a friend that's transgender, or my coworker, transgender. Women and men of trans experience are visible. Who thinks that we're not visible? We are visible, and for that record, Community Kinship Life, Seek Your Life, is the only organization also in New York City that have 90% of trans masculine individuals. Anybody would think that I am running an organization that is trans women? No.
Transmasculine is, of course, female to male.
Transmasculine is female to male, and 90% of my members are transmasculine individuals.
Isn't that amazing?
I love it because I embrace them. I was the first person to do a national, statewide forum for the transmasculine community.
We will try to show this before November 21st, which is when the CK Life fundraiser takes place here in New York, in the Bronx, I believe.
Yes. No, we're going to be at the LGBT Center. Sorry, we're going to be at the LGBT Center on November 24th.
21st.
November 21st, 2015, and everything starts at 5 o'clock that evening.
Yes.
And if you want to donate or you want to catch us, you can catch us on Instagram. That's Communication Life, all together. You could catch us on Twitter, only one CK Life, and you can also catch us at www.cklife.org.
And if you're going to be in New York at that time, or if you do live in New York, the LGBT Center is on 13th Street, just off 7th Avenue. And it starts at 5 o'clock.
Yes.
And it is a not-for-profit. It is community and kinship, right?
Yes.
And they help trans people to acquire the funds to transition, and they do all sorts of wonderful work, and you should go, or you should send them some money. And why not? You know?
That would be wonderful.
Yeah,
That would
I'm
be
not
happy.
shy. You can't be shy and be transgender.
No, I love
If you have
I love
money
the
to
bag.
Give her some damn money,
Come
for
on.
Christ's sake. Hey, come on. Let's see the color of your cash.
Yes.
No, you got the money, we got the time. Let's see it. Okay. Now, yes, Dick Cavett has nothing to worry about. Class all the way. But Dick Cavett show a long time ago. See, I'm 59. That's what happened. Oh, I feel so groovy. Anyway, okay. Tell us again your wonderful the website.
So my organization is called Community Kinship Life, acronym CKL, and my website is www.cklife.org. You can reach me also at 917-979-3255 or 3CKL. We're also on Instagram at Community Kinship Life. We're on Twitter at only one CK Life.
Okay. That was Ms. Kim Watson, who's the founder of Community Kinship Life.
Yes.
And our wonderful other guest is Miss Jasmine Padin,
Yes.
who is an educator, who is... I have to stop smoking cigarettes. What do you do while I'm coughing? You tell me.
So I'm an educator and pretty much a supervisor for the Founding Child Care Network for my company, and I am part of the promoting team for CK Life.
That's great. And I'm Diana Montford. This has been the Diana Montford Show. Hey, I love you, even if no one else loves you. Take really good care of yourself, and remember, a lot of us are trans, and that's just fine. That's great, in fact. So I love you a lot. I'll see you next time. Love you. Bye.